Hello, everybody. Welcome. Today we'll be reviewing Spider-Man Brand New Day. As I'm sure you've noticed, I have a special guest with me, Scott, a great childhood friend of mine. And more importantly, he's too humble to say it, but very knowledgeable about Marvel and the MCU. To get right into it, Spider-Man Brand New Day was great. I give it a 4 out of 5 stars. Scott?
I'd give it a 5 out of 5. I honestly had no notes. I loved every minute of it. And I would put it up there as maybe the best Spider-Man film, not counting the Spider-Verse films, because those are, I think, in a league of their own.
But that does
Um,
count the Sam Raimi Spider-Man films with
yeah, I would say it was definitely better than Spider-Man 1 with Tobey Maguire, better than Spider-Man 3. I don't know if I'd say it's better than Spider-Man 2, though.
and you think it's certainly better than all the Spider-Man with Tom Holland we've seen in the MCU.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think I thought No Way Home was relatively weak. This one I really like
Oh,
because
whoa. I actually agree. Sorry, No Way Home was terrible.
yeah. I mean I agree. Like the portals, the multiversal threats, like that doesn't really feel like Spider-Man. Like this film really felt like Spider-Man, really localized in New York. They nailed the atmosphere. Um I totally one thing that it do you remember in Into the Spider-Verse how revered Ben Parker was in Miles's universe, like
Yes.
before he
Yeah.
died?
Like the whole elegy and the funeral and all that. Yeah.
Yeah, like it reminded me of that. I think Destin Daniels took inspiration from that. Like the people of New York really love Spider-Man, and they first show that in the opening montage. Like Spider-Man's taking care of business.
Yeah.
Like we haven't seen him in a few years, and that brings me to another thing. Like in Daredevil, did you watch Daredevil Born Again?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, so there's like major stuff happening. So Kingpin becomes the mayor of New York. Like he creates the anti vigilante task force. They're gunning after vigilantes, and Spider-Man's nowhere to be found. And the Thunderbolts, he's nowhere to be found. But this movie, I think, kind of clears a bit of that up. Like Spider-Man is taking care of like Yelena said, the small potato
Yeah.
crimes, and he's a really revered figure around New York, and the people love him. And Dustin Daniels did a great job showing that.
And with that, I feel like, it's kind of been a meme with Marvel with all the content they put out. It's like, in order to watch this movie, here are the prerequisites. And I've seen this funny post like to get caught up on Avengers or Avengers Doomsday. I think it's like something like 300 hours of content. So you mentioned it. I didn't watch Daredevil Born Again, but I'm obviously familiar with the MCU. I knew Elaine, I knew all the characters, so it's very easy to get right back into it, which is very impressive considering I believe the last Spider-Man movie was what 5 years ago. So they did a good job, reintegrating me into the universe. I obviously remember the fact that Peter's friends all lost their memory of who he was as Spider-Man as Peter Parker. But the flashbacks were very well integrated to remind me. And to jump on your point, yeah, the opening scenes were really good, where you seem to swing around New York City. I like that. So the first 30 minutes were excellent. I agree with you. It's an excellent movie. Then if we jump to other characters, let's talk about the villain. This is certainly somebody who's been like shrouded with mystery. I don't think there was any material in the trailer to indicate that the villain would be, spoiler alert, Jean Grey. Or you could argue that, or maybe it's what the other guy, the head of the police sanitation department,
Oh, Tramel Tillman.
Mel Tillman. Exactly. Yes.
Oh, I'm already forgetting his. I'm already forgetting his
Not
character's name.
memorable, but Jean Grey's at
Milchip.
best a morally gray character. She takes the last name very well. So she was very interesting because I had no idea who this villain was going to be. Like
Yeah,
she,
I mean,
um,
the leak said that Sadie Sink would play an unknown character. I mean, there were thoughts she would play Jean Grey. People thought Black
Mary
Cat,
Jane,
Mary
maybe.
Jane Watson. Well, no, I mean, well, it's like a version of her, maybe.
Yeah,
But
the red hair I think is what threw people
I
off.
heard Felicia Hardy. People thought she was going to be Black Cat or like Gwen Stacy.
Yeah,
But Jean Grey, great way to introduce the mutants, like with this character. And I love how they kind of portray Spider-Man as a mutant. And
they definitely do.
like the whole inhibitor collar, like
Yeah.
that might prove to be like a big problem for the mutants. And it's kind of scary that Spider-Man's the one who created it, like given that he's also special.
And then speaking of mutants, because with the inhibitor collider, it's not just the familiar face we've seen of Spider-Man having to use it, but we actually see Bruce Banner. And this was great
Yeah.
because I think it was the first time that we actually saw the Hulk, not like a mix between, the Hulk with the mind of Bruce Banner, but like the Hulk, angry, smash, smash, smash. So that was just
We
great to
haven't
see.
seen him since Infinity War.
We haven't seen him since Infinity War,
The
right?
real Hulk, yeah.
Yeah, the real Hulk. So that was cool. Just seeing Spider-Man versus Hulk. It's like when you have your friends over, and if you want to have a conversation, like who would win in a fight, Spider-Man or Captain America. It's cool. Like Spider-Man vs. Hulk, we kind of got to see that, which I wouldn't expect. So that was
Yeah,
cool.
I mean, I think they did the Hulk super well.
Same.
Um, that brings me to another thing with the side characters. You know, sometimes you watch movies like superhero movies, and like the side characters are kind of like shoehorned in, like they didn't really need to be in this movie. But I think all of them made a lot of sense. I think Yelena, Punisher, and the Hulk all made a lot of sense. It kind of it reminds me of Thor Ragnarok, how they brought in Doctor Strange, and it was just like super appropriate to the story in
Yeah,
that movie.
that's a good
This
call.
feels the same way. Like Peter needs to control his DNA. He goes to see Bruce Banner. Then Sadie Singh needs to break into the damage control facility. Who's she gonna bring? The strongest person in New York brings the Hulk.
And then yeah, so I agree. The side characters they brought were incredibly relevant and salient. It's not just like, oh, look, we have a cameo of this superhero. And
Yeah.
then I think the biggest cameo, if you're gonna even call it that, because he had such a big part, was Punisher.
Yeah, I mean he was a main character. And you know, although he wasn't like the rated R Punisher we have seen in
Sure.
Daredevil and his own show, I think he was a really good like addition to this film. And like the chemistry between
I
Tom
was about
Holland
to
and
say the
John
banter is
Bernthal.
very good.
Yeah, apparently John Bernthal had known Tom Holland for years. No, I saw it in an interview. I'm not exactly sure how, but I mean it really shows. I loved when they were fighting the Hulk together.
Sure.
Just
Yeah.
that banter was great. I mean him coming in, spraying the Hulk with the machine gun.
Somebody who's also known Tom Holland for years and even has a more intimate relationship with him is Zendaya. And the
Yeah,
relationship then between MJ and Peter Parker, Spider Man, is really good because I'm very glad that they didn't make it, as if she's somehow able to recall all their memories. Like I know
yeah,
that some like that you remember in Star Wars where you think they take off and I think you think that Chewbacca or Han Solo dies. Or not Han Solo, you think Chewbacca dies and you're like, "Oh my gosh," because you see the spaceship exploded. I think this was in Force Awakens. And then he comes back. Or this happens so many times where a character
Mhm.
dies and then they somehow return from the grave. Then the sacrifice is so much weaker. But I'm so glad that they kept it where she does not remember him and they have to build off on their
Yeah,
relationship from day one. So it was great seeing them interact. I loved all of their scenes.
yeah. I'm
Yeah,
what I so one reason I really love seeing this movie is I had recently seen The Odyssey like before this, and this movie was an excellent way to get the taste of shit out of my mouth. The Odyssey,
Scott,
terrible movie, but
our viewer, I'm sure
it
everyone
it
knows
made
if you listen to my Odyssey review, me and Scott are at a complete disagreement in terms of the quality of the Odyssey.
well it I I thought that Zendaya and Tom Holland were both insanely weak in The Odyssey as actors. Just not good performances from either of them. And I think Brand New Day might explain why. Tom Holland was just so good as Spider-Man and Peter. Like
Is
he
this
really
the
embodies
best
the character. Every
Spider-Man?
time I see him, I think Spider-Man.
You said that this is the best Spider-Man movie, except for maybe Spider-Man 2, if that's correct.
Yeah, not counting animated stuff or
Yeah.
video games. Yeah.
Then do you think this is the best Spider-Man actor we've seen? Live action actor?
Yeah, by far. He plays both, but he's the best. I think he's the best Peter Parker. I think
I
Tobey
agree.
Maguire was a little too old, and I think Andrew Garfield was a little too cool. Like they try in the Andrew Garfield movies, they try to portray him as like a dork loser in high school, but I mean he's like tall, handsome, he's athletic, he doesn't strike me as a dork loser, but even though Tom Holland, he's a good looking guy, it's believable that he's a dork.
And
Like
yeah,
especially the scene when he and Ned are playing with
yeah,
the Legos, I believe. Like it's and throughout like the trilogy, like
yeah.
it's believable.
I
Yeah.
went with my
And it's
dad, and I went with my dad. He was astonished to find out Tom Holland's 30 because Tom Holland certainly looks younger than he actually is. So he's
oh
still able.
yeah.
This is like I think he's been playing this role for maybe 10 years, definitely a decade, maybe more, and
Yeah.
he still looks the part. So I agree that this film, in my mind, he's now the best live action Spider-Man I've seen. So again, this
Yeah,
film
I mean
was excellent.
the only Spider-Man that I think competes with him is like the one from the video game. Like
Yeah,
he really killed it. I mean, he killed it in all his movies. His weakest performance was No Way Home, but I don't think that's his fault. I think that's like the John Watts' fault. Like he was really great in Far From Home, fighting Mysterio, like there too. But this one was just in a league of its own.
yeah. Now, we've been glazing it for a little, so I'm just gonna throw in a little sour taste and tell you a critique I had, which was
Okay.
the ending. And it's simply this: the ending is Peter seeing Ned, and they do like they greet each other, and Ned instinctively remembers Peter's and him's intricate French handshake. It's not like, oh, how are you, Mr. Jones? Oh, here's a regular handshake. No, it's like a friendship handshake. So obviously he needs to have prior knowledge or some sort of insight into being able to do this, which suggests that he now has his memories restored, or he has some little portal to remember who Peter is. And again, I don't like this because I was just talking about it before, and maybe disagree with that interpretation. I want Peter, when he sacrifices the memory of all his friends in Spider-Man No Way Home, that's meaningful. If they now suddenly get their stuff back, what becomes permanent is now temporary and it's just less significant. So that was a critique of mine.
That was your interpretation of the scene that Ned got his memories back?
That he has some sort, that, yeah, there's some way of remembering Peter again.
Why? Is it because of the
Because
handshake or because he the name?
of the handshake. How would he know that handshake?
You don't think it's plot like I have two answers to this.
Okay.
He went to high school with Peter, right?
Yeah, but do they
Can
remember
we
that he went
assume
to
he
high
has a
school with him?
class with Peter?
Like, yes, he went to high school
He
with
had a
Peter, but
class.
I do.
Would he then have forgotten every memory of that class because Peter was sitting in the class?
No, like he'd obviously remember if they taught him something simple like 2 plus 2 in the class. He's gonna remember
Would he
it.
forget the chair that Peter was sitting on? Like,
I don't think he. I don't think like he remembers Peter being in the class because then wouldn't MJ have recognized him
yeah,
when he
so
took
like
off
with the
his mask?
handshake, couldn't he have like remember the handshake, but not it was Peter that was doing it? Or how about this? Maybe he has another friend that he did that handshake with, and the fact that like maybe his best friend in like his new memories
That's
he
certainly
does that
possible.
handshake with, and then you see where I'm going with
Yeah,
this.
so then
Like Peter
maybe
just
I.
happens to know it because they used to do it together.
All right, so maybe I jumped the gun, I guess, on that interpretation because it certainly seems like I just don't. It wouldn't make sense like for the logic to be like continual if he does remember. Because remember Jean Grey when she's inside Zendaya's mind, or Zendaya herself might say like I have no memory of you whatsoever. So I honestly hope that your theory is correct, and we're gonna see Spider-Man again. I think hopefully we'll see Ned again, so it'll probably get explained. Speaking of, did you see the post-credit scene?
I did. Yeah.
So we know we're gonna see Spider-Man again. What do you think that means if he's off-world?
I think it's a second Spider-Man. Tobey Maguire has been leaked to be in Doomsday already.
Really,
So I
I
think
didn't
that's
know that.
probably what they're going
Breaking
for.
news for our viewers.
Yeah, spoiler alert. Um,
So wait,
yeah,
so
I
wow,
because it's a new Spider-Man sighting, right? Like Spider-Man, our Spider-Man was still on Earth, and then they found another one in space.
oh, I thought it was saying like Spider-Man was sighted 10 minutes ago. Oh, just now it's a new Spider-Man sighting, for example,
Yeah, meaning there's another Spider-Man.
or meaning it's a new sighting. But maybe you're right.
Yeah,
You're right.
because the Spider logo is still on Earth. I looked into this a bit. Like my
Oh,
when
okay,
I
fair
watched,
enough. Okay, I didn't.
yeah,
So
when I watched it in theaters, I assumed that what I thought is that the Spider-Man sighting it found like our Tom Holland Spider-Man in space, but I think that he was on Earth and that there's another Spider-Man in space because supposedly he is not going to be in Doomsday. He will be in Secret Wars, perhaps the main character of that film.
but he's not going to be
Um,
Doomsday.
no, so I
I'm
think
glad I
this
brought
is
you on because I
theories. It
defer to
might
your
be
expertise. Yeah.
yeah, it might be a symbiote, as some people are speculating. Um, it could be Miles
And
Morales,
you think that whoever it is,
maybe.
whether it's a symbiote, Miles Morales, they're going to be showing up in Avengers Doomsday? Definitely, right?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, they're
Definitely, yeah.
like every post-credit scene, like the Thunderbolts with the Fantastic Four, that's set up for Doomsday. I don't think they're trying to set up Secret Wars yet. I honestly doubt they have a clear. It's Marvel, but do you know if they've started filming Secret Wars?
No, I don't know. But if they
I
did start
I don't
filming, would I
know.
even know about it?
Yeah, I don't know. They've gotten a lot better at hiding
Yeah,
stuff.
they keep yeah.
Especially with this whole Jean Grey thing. I mean, Jean Grey, that is a like a real big character. She's like an Omega level mutant. She's a big deal.
Yeah.
Um, and no one had any idea that she would be in this movie. Or at least I didn't.
Uh, Also, the Jean Grey Sarah stuff was good. But I just wonder what the future now is going to be for Jean Grey. Like, obviously, we're going to see her again. We know she like took a bus away. You think they're just setting up for a new mutant series, or are they going to
Yeah,
start like
they're
expanding
setting up the X-Men. They're not going to
the
keep the
X
Fox
Men? That's what
X-Men.
I'm hoping because we haven't seen like a
Yeah.
real X Men thing. I know we have the Hugh Jackman, but nobody watches that.
What do you mean nobody watches that?
Like, that's not at least that never had the same traction as the MCU.
The Fox X-Men? I don't know. They were pretty big. I mean, they had Patrick Stewart, Michael Fassbender. It was a big franchise.
Maybe. Okay, maybe
Jennifer Lawrence.
maybe just because like the first one came out in 2000 or something, right?
I mean, there've been like 10 of them. There've been so many, but I those actors are old now. So they Marvel, it's like Fortnite. It'll be around till the end of time, till the sun burns out of the sky, and
That's
they're gonna
good.
keep cycling new actors. And Sadie Sink is the first of the new X-Men. I hear they're getting Adam Driver uh as one of them. I think Philip Seymour Hoffman has a son named
Yeah, he
Cooper
does.
Hoffman.
Cooper Hoffman. Yeah.
It's crazy how much they look alike. And he's going to be not maybe Professor no, Cyclops. He's gonna be Cyclops. I've seen some leaks. Or
Okay,
maybe fan theories.
that'll be interesting because that's like going to be at least something new to the MCU, seeing like these mutants, and like, they're going to be all new
Yeah.
characters. Cyclops.
I want to go back to your criticism about the ending.
Yeah.
What I just don't understand what you didn't like about it.
Well, it was then. It's not the ending itself, but what I interpreted the ending to mean, which you posited a separate theory, which I'm hoping is true. I just don't. I'd be really pissed off if Ned now remembers Peter as his friend.
I promise you that's not the case. Do
Okay, then I'm good. So then I guess I'll elevate it. Then
you have any other criticisms
I
of the movie?
elevate the
Because
review now
I
to a
want
four
to
and a
defend
half.
this.
I elevate the review to 4.5 out of 5 stars. That half star now is probably lost because maybe there was some drag between finding out who Jean Grey was and Spider-Man having to deal with like his arachnoid DNA increasing. Maybe I just felt that a little. And that's kind of it.
Okay. Well, I'm going to say one thing that I liked it in regards to the ending, and then I'll get into some of my criticisms.
Yeah.
Um, I'm glad they didn't take this in the same route as Guardians of the Galaxy. Um, did you watch Guardians of the Galaxy 3?
I did not, but are you referring that Gamora doesn't love Peter anymore? So then you would think that
Yeah,
MJ
it's
would
it's
love.
the same concept with Gamora and MJ. They neither of them remember they're both named Peter, ironically. But the way Guardians of the Galaxy 3 ends is um yeah, they go their separate ways. Gamora becomes a Ravager and Peter retires to Earth.
Mhm.
Star-Lord retires to Earth, and it's heartbreaking. Before they leave, Gamora says, "I bet we were fun," and then Star-Lord says, "Like you wouldn't believe," and then they part ways, because they can't get those memories back. So I'm really glad they didn't give us another heartbreak with Peter. It's clear to me that they're going to start to rebuild their relationship, and I'm just really
Oh,
glad they
I agree
didn't.
completely with that.
It was so sad.
Yeah, we got a sentimentalist over here. So it's good that we know that Peter and MJ, I think that this film certainly plants the seeds of their relationship just coming back again, them being, same fun dynamic that they had last time. What were your critiques? I'm curious.
Okay, so the rose-colored glasses, they're gonna come off for a second. Some of the visuals were a little wonky.
Okay, really?
I'll tell you a scene in particular when he's fighting the hand. The hand was great. I love how they brought back the hand. Um,
They were cool.
but when he's fighting them, when he takes off his inhibitor, there are scenes in which like the body movement is not fluid. You could see it's the same problem you saw in No Way Home when Andrew Garfield lands when he catches Zendaya's character. It's
Body
it's
fluid.
like a CGI rendered model. It didn't look good. There's scenes where his movement, it's you know what it is? It's the fact that they shouldn't shoot scenes where his mask is off because then you could very much see that it's CGI. So yeah, some of those shots were weak. Visually, it was really good. Like apart from a few
The
action
suit was
scenes,
awesome. The colors.
suit was great.
Yeah.
No notes. The Hulk action scenes were perfect. I
Yeah.
have absolutely no notes. I love the fighting style he uses, like when Hulk's throwing him around and then he can't find him and he's crawling on his back. Very similar to Andrew Garfield crawling on the lizard from TASM 1. That was really good. Let me think, more criticisms.
I have a question though, because I'm actually not thinking about it. If you were Spider-Man, obviously a big part of the film that we kind of touched on briefly is Peter kind of fighting against wanting to suppress his arachnoid DNA. And he now, for example, has the ability to shoot actual webs from his wrists. He doesn't have to make synthetic webs. If you were Spider-Man, would
Yes.
you rather be able to shoot real webs or synthetic ones? Which one would you rather have? I'd want real ones.
Um, I don't know, like what are they attached to? Like you think if you're that much force, like you're hanging, like and you're swinging, and you're basically like a
Your wrist would
pendulum. Like
break.
it's gonna like yeah. I also think the web shooters are a bit cooler, but I did absolutely love when he's learning to use it. It reminded me so much of in Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man movies where he's learning and he falls and breaks his back. Um,
Yeah, and like he's saying to himself, like he's saying like shoot, shoot, as if like it's a separate thing
yeah,
controlling.
yeah. Yeah, that was
So
just really
cool.
great. Like this guy, Dustin Daniels, he he loves Spider-Man. Like I can tell.
Is
He
this his
plays the game.
first Marvel directed project? Because I had never heard
No,
of
he directed Shang-Chi, which makes sense because the action in this movie was great.
Shang-Chi.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why he wanted to return to the hand now. So now that I think about it.
Like from the like he takes inspiration from the Tobey Maguire films. He takes a lot from the video games, and I can point out specific scenes he in which he does. When he's fighting Scorpion, when his arachnid DNA takes over, he catches his tail, throws him on the ground, and he jumps up in the air, shoots webs at the ground, and pushes himself down and kicks him in the chest. That's straight from the video game.
Yeah, that's like a 1-2
Another
combo you
scene,
can do.
yeah, it's a finisher. There's another one. Oh, his web tech, his new web tech is all from the video game. In the opening montage, when he fights the robbers on the roof, he shoots a web and it just completely wraps one of the. Do you remember? Like it was
Yeah,
right before they get the shot of he shoots a web and it completely wraps him.
I remember certainly the
In
rap
the game.
also when he's doing like the twisting and spinning and he gets everybody in the hand when he's fighting inside the sanitation department.
Yeah, that was really cool.
That was cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that whole thing with him, like I really like the struggle between his Spider-Man like half and his Peter half. Like they love like it's like similar to Batman. They like talking about the fight between Batman and Bruce Wayne and are they different people? Like, you know, the Vader Anakin, that kind of thing. And this is like it like literally like physically manifested and like his DNA like taking over.
I really think this is what makes Spider-Man one of the most compelling and, in my opinion, the best Marvel hero. It's the fact that he's one of the few people whose identity is not known. Like Steve Rogers is Captain America, Tony Stark is Iron Man. Spider-Man,
Yeah.
it's on the down low who he is. So that's always just been a great element. And I agree with you completely about the parallels you see between him and Batman.
Yeah. I mean, I think that that's part of why he's so great because you don't know his identity. I think DC characters kind of outshine Marvel characters in that light. I think that
Yeah,
like characters like the Flash, Batman, like they're more compelling because they have two identities. Like, you know, Steve Rogers, not really. Iron Man, like people
not
know he's
really.
Tony Stark.
Thor's
But
Thor.
yeah, I also loved in this movie how they're like protecting his identity, Punisher especially, how he like really respects that.
And that was funny when he like puts on the mask in the hospital.
Yeah, this movie was funny too, you know, like
Yes.
all the movies are. The scene where they're fighting the Hulk, and I think it's Gene or maybe it's Mr. Milchick, Jamal Tillman, who looks at the security footage and you see them bickering. This is really funny.
Yes, yes. I think it was between I don't, and like because you see the stuff going on in the background. I think it's between Punisher and
Yeah, it's no, it's Punisher and Spider-Man, they're arguing, and someone's looking at security footage,
yes.
and they're bickering. Yeah,
No, there was
that
some
was
good,
really
and I
great.
was in a. It was great because I was in a packed theater and I was at a 9:45 a.m. showing. I'm not kidding. Somebody was wearing a Spider-Man onesie. They handed out Spider-Man pins to everybody who saw the
Yeah.
movie. So
Wow.
they were laughing.
I had a similar. I'm in Thailand, um, and I went at 11 p.m. like at night,
Yeah,
and it was booked, and there was a guy in a Spider-Man suit
yeah. It was a great community
in
feeling.
Thailand. It's crazy. Yeah, like this movie, it outperformed Endgame, I think, for like box office,
Oh, box
like
office!
for,
It set the record for
like
the
opening,
biggest
like
opening ever
yeah,
domestic, 168 million, I believe, which is insane in one day. So
yeah, crazy,
this
crazy
movie's going to
numbers.
do numbers.
Yeah, yeah, overall, I really love this movie. It just felt like a real celebration of Spider-Man, and yeah, I mean, I don't really have any notes apart from a few visual errors.
Yeah. So no, I agree. I think we really touched upon everything. I'm glad that you're able to come onto the show. I really appreciate just your knowledge, your expertise. And I'd love to know in the comments what you guys thought. Maybe you disagree, maybe you agree. Please be sure to leave your ratings of the film. As always, please like and subscribe and keep the popcorn warm. Thanks.